We are the church, the body of our Lord. We are all God's children. We have been restored.
My name is Charlie, and alias Chicken Charlie, as I'm known in the community. Well, I can't answer that question. However, if you get a hold of one of our dear members, Claudette Crowder, I think she'll be able to tell you. I do know I was here when we became a 2-point charge. So I don't know how long ago that was. Well, Nancy and I tried a number of churches in the neighborhood, and nothing sort of fit in to what we wanted. So we ended up at Nassagaweya here with Claudette asking us, and we met a nice group of individuals who I was a little younger than they were, so they were sort of my mentors. How's that? There were two of them, and it goes back to Mona's story. And when the church here was deciding to become a 2-point charge, there were a lot of discussions. I hadn't been here very long, but I dealt a lot with groups, and she made the comment that if it doesn't work out, we'll continue on the way we are. And I got up and said, Mona, if we become a 2-point charge, this church is going to totally change in the way its thinking is. And she kind of looked at me, and it has, big time. We've got a lot of individuals who have stepped up to the plate. We've had 2 good ministers. And once we had decided that, Mona got up in the middle of the service one day and corrected Sean's grammar in the middle of his sermon. And I thought, isn't that interesting? We've now got a congregation helping get through life, and they're thinking on the same way that the minister is. And I thought, that's a good start. So those 2 moments really stood out. Mona is no longer with us, but I often think back and I look at the congregation, and guess what? It's dynamic. Yes, I think the day you became the minister, because I did see you, was it at Convocation in Waterloo? And I thought at that time, whoever does a selection, if you don't select them, you're missing out. Welcoming, full of energy, ready to pick up the ball and throw it to home plate, willing to do anything they're asked to do, and that's hard. I do like the parable of the tares, because when you're working with ground and working with nature, you have to nurture it. So that stands out for me, that parable. The camaraderie. The camaraderie is, Zoom doesn't do it for me. Sorry, it just doesn't. So that's when I had the chance to come back, I was here. One of the reasons that really makes me want to come is the music that's played. And Jennifer just warms my heart with her singing. I really like her solos, and your accompaniment and singing goes right along with it. So that's likely the big moment every Sunday morning. My favorite hymn, there's a little story to it. In my mother's Bible, she had a Bible, and it was full of all sorts of things. But the one hymn that stood out was In the Garden. And I'm not sure whether we played it at her funeral or not, but I was sitting in a restaurant in Elmira, I think it was 2 years later, having breakfast, and at 8 o'clock in the morning, they played her favorite hymn. And I actually stood up. And a lot of the people in the restaurant did, wanting to know why. So I told them. So her favorite hymn was In the Garden. We are the church, and let's keep it that way.
We are the church, a body